Danielle and I met at a bar, which is always the part of our story that kind of gets laughs from people.
I was a law clerk at the time, and we had a mutual friend who still worked at the courthouse with me. And we did happy hours probably every Friday. Ben was actually still friends with this girl who I worked with. And so he had gotten word, I guess, of this happy hour, or some of the other law clerks from his year, which was 2 years before mine, had gotten word of the happy hour. And so they had decided they were going to come too.
We were going to a place called Destination Dogs, which is like a gourmet hot dog type place. I don't really remember the rest of the evening because I spent the rest of the evening talking to her, so it was kind of an immediate attraction.
And we must have continued talking for hours between the first bar we started at and then the second bar, and it was just us talking.
It was, it was kind of love at first sight with her, and I always make fun of people for that, so I kind of regretted that when I said that to everyone, they were all going after me like, really, love at first sight? Really? You're the guy telling us this is BS and it's never gonna happen?
At that point in time, I had just moved back from Miami. To have somebody kind of come along who I wasn't expecting to meet anybody or anything like that, it was very surprising. And I just felt this kind of instant connection with him. It was something different than I think I'd felt before.
I always love when Danielle kind of goes, oh, they met at a bar, and I'm like, yeah, sweetheart, we met at a bar.
So we did a more legitimate date probably, I think we met, that happy hour must have been on a Friday. It might have been Thursday or Friday before Thanksgiving. And so we decided we would go out to dinner the Tuesday after that before we both kind of went home to spend Thanksgiving with our families. And before I went out on that date, I was at the courthouse that day doing work, and our mutual friend came into the office, and some other friends we had been talking to too kind of said, I saw you were talking to Ben a lot last week, how did that go? And I said, oh, it was really good, he's really nice, we're going out on a date tonight.
I'm very sarcastic, and I can be kind of, I can kind of be a jerk about being, joke around about being a jerk. They all told her that I have this big, I don't pay for first dates, this is the 21st century. And apparently they told her bring some money because he might not pay for dinner the first time you go out with him. And I was like, really guys? I was kidding.
At that point in time, I kind of knew that, look, this is a nice guy and he was very easy to talk to. We had a lot in common, part of it being, we were both attorneys, we were doing similar work, we had similar interests. We both came from bigger families and were able to kind of talk about our siblings. So just things kind of clicked, and very easily from the beginning.
I definitely knew there was something special going on. I knew she was somebody I'd want to, get back in contact with. I was really hoping she'd pick up the phone the next time I called her, because I didn't know if it was just we were hanging out all night and then she'd kind of forget or not.
We have somewhat of different personalities. I am a very emotional person. I am very emotionally driven. I probably cry way too easily. I lay my heart on my sleeve. I have no issue with that.
She and I are both very type A, but she's very emotionally connected. So she's very much in touch with how she feels and all those things, which is very much the opposite of me, so it's very nice to kind of have that element around.
I help to bring out the emotional side in him a little bit, while he kind of calms my emotional side down, and he brings things into perspective for me, is really how I've seen it a lot of times.
She'll have the sappy moments. She loves the flowers for no reason, and cooking dinner, and hey, let's go out to dinner tonight. And it's funny, a lot of people kind of think there's another angle to it sometimes when someone does that, whereas she's very much, I guess, very innocent in the fact that she's just like, oh my God, that's so nice and so thoughtful.
One of the things is how selfless he is. A few months back, I was particularly sick, and so was Ben. Ben, despite the fact of how sick he was, he went out to the store. He got soup, he got juice, he got everything. He came home and he said, what can I do for you? What medicine can I get for you? What drink can I get for you? And it's just little things like that he has always done. It's just incredible to me. I mean, no matter what he's going through, if he is at an incredibly stressful point, or if he is also sick when I'm sick, he still is always putting me first, always trying to make sure that I'm happy and that I'm taken care of. And to be around somebody like that, it makes you feel really good, and it makes you feel like you found a really great life partner who you can count on to always do things for you. And I feel like he also does a really good job in bringing out those kinds of things in me, because seeing him do that, I want to be like that. I want to make sure that I'm being better for him and that I am taking care of him just as much as he's taking care of me, because he very much deserves that.
She loves without reservation. She has the kindest soul I've probably ever met, and she is genuinely offended when I will say something sarcastic, and when she's trying to be really sappy, and I feel like I've killed a puppy.
And he's also very good at always making me laugh. We have this funny thing we do, and I don't think we do it in front of other people as much, but we always make noises. So Ben likes to do impressions, and I noticed this from very early on. But we were talking about Star Wars one time, and he tried to do the Yeti noise, and he does such a good job with it. And so I tried to do it, and as he says, I sound like a baby dinosaur because I can't make it sound right. And so our thing ever since has been, he'll make a noise and my response to it will be the baby dinosaur noise. And so we have this little communication that we do, and it's always a good way. If he's frustrated, I'll kind of make that noise, and it's a good way to make him laugh, or vice versa. And so it's just so nice to have somebody that you can be in those stressed out moments and just, you make a noise and you just start laughing. I had told him, I said, look, when you plan to propose, I tend to be that type of person that is a little bit nosy. I kind of want to know what's going on. I love surprises, but I always find a way to find out about them before they happen, whether I want to or not. And so I told him, I said, I need you to do whatever you have to do to make sure it is a surprise, because I don't want to know what happens, like leading up to it. I don't want to find out that it's about to come. Like, I don't want to know anything.
First off, I am very OCD. So I had this thing a little over-engineered. It was way over-engineered. I had a 3-page document as to where everyone had to be, when they had to be there to the minute. And I had a print-off of Google Maps for the 4th page with color-coded past where everyone had to be and when they had to be there. So everyone laughs when they see it, but it was military precision for the whole thing. And I remember it was, we were gonna be in Annapolis, and my brother's buried there, so it's a meaningful city. And my sister was there. She was a student at the time. She was at the Naval Academy. So we were all there. And months before, I talked to my sister and I said, hey, look, Danielle really likes this song. You're in the Glee Club. Can you and your friends sing this song at our proposal? And she goes, well, of course I can. And I was like, okay, but you can't tell anybody. And she was like, you're killing me.
To me, nothing was going on other than we were going to look at Christmas lights. I was told leading up to it, Annapolis, Maryland has this great Christmas light display. And I had actually Googled it, and I found all these articles about it. So I'm like, oh, this is awesome. This is gonna be so nice, because the town itself is so beautiful. So I'm thinking Christmas lights everywhere. It's gonna be so picturesque. And
of course, we're driving down to my parents' house because they live in Maryland. And the whole way down, Danielle decides to just barrage me with, we should get engaged soon. The best age to get engaged is 27. I'm gonna be too old if we wait too long, and what's going on. And she had this article.
It was this article about the perfect ages to get engaged and to get married. And so I'm reading through this article, and I said to Ben, Ben, I just got to age 26, which is what I was at that point in time. And I said, do you know that it says in that article that 26 is the best age to get engaged? And he looked at me and he said, well, good thing you don't turn 27 until July. It's only December, so I've got plenty of time.
So of course, and I'm trying not to laugh because it's like, if only you knew what's gonna happen tomorrow. So we're driving down, it was after work, so it's late night, we're driving down there. We get down there, and of course, she wants to tell my parents, I found this article and I want to tell you all about it. The best age to get engaged is 27, and they're both like, oh, okay, that's great, because they both are like trying not to make eye contact with her at that point.
Saturday morning, I woke up and I knew I needed to do a little bit of work. I had to catch up on a few things. And at one point in time, Ben's mom needed to go to the grocery store or something, and Ben just ran out the door with her. He's just like, I'm going with her too. And I'm thinking, I know I'm doing work right now, but you're really just gonna run out the door? Okay.
My father's there, and of course my dad's the most talkative person on the planet, and he's not saying anything because he's petrified of spilling the beans to her. So of course she's sitting there and she's working, and I come back, she's like, what is up with your father? He wouldn't talk to me the whole morning we were here. I'm like, he must be in a mood, don't worry about it. And so of course we get in the car, and it's an hour-and-a-half drive from my parents' house to Annapolis. And the whole time, we're all nervously chattering with each other. Every time she talks, we all go dead silent.
I'm thinking, what is wrong? What did I do? And so by the time we got to Annapolis, my thought is he driving up here to break up with me? I don't think anybody would do something that mean, right?
So of course we park on campus. We're walking over to Bancroft Hall, which is where all the students live. And out walks, and of course Danielle thought it was going to be just, you know, my sister, her boyfriend at the time, and then my parents. Out walk 5 of her friends, her boyfriend, who's now her fiance, and her. And
at this point in time, I was still really frustrated that nobody was talking to me. So I look at Ben's dad and I say, well, sucks to be you because you've got to pay for 6 college kids' dinner. And he kind of looks at me and he just kind of laughs, and I think, all right, fine, you know what, I give up.
I'm like, okay, well, why don't we go take a look at, you know, the harbor? And of course, my cover story was downtown Annapolis is covered in Christmas lights. It's really fun. We should go down the weekend before Christmas because it was the weekend before Christmas. And we should totally take a look at that. So of course, she's like, okay, let's go. We're walking out the front gate, and my mother was told, hey, say you forgot your gloves in the car, so you go back to the car, and that's your excuse to kind of peel off the group and do that.
So as we're walking along, his mom says to Ben at one point in time, I need my cell phone. Can you give me your keys so that I can get into the car to get my cell phone because I left it there.
And I'm like, cell phone? Really? Cell phone? There are 10 of us here with cell phones, and you're gonna go back and get your cell phone.
And I looked at Ben and I said, Ben, there are about 10 of us right now. Everyone has their cell phone except your mom. Your mom does not need her cell phone. This is ridiculous. What is wrong with you people? And he said, stop asking me these weird questions. And as we were walking, I kept asking him other questions, you know, about where are the Christmas lights? I don't see the Christmas lights anywhere. So I think he was getting kind of frustrated with all the questions I was asking.
Apparently at that point, she decides to ask all the questions about like, why are we here? There's no lights on any of the buildings. What's going on? And at which point I'm just like, would you just knock it off and let us get to the harbor, please? It's been 6 months and she's gonna ruin it within like 20 feet. I'm gonna be able to see where I was gonna propose to her, and she's gonna figure it out within within eyesight of where I was gonna do it.
So we finally get to the area where he's going to propose, and he says to me, I gotta tie my shoe. I didn't think anything of it. I was still so pissed that I couldn't find the Christmas lights that I just kept walking, and I figured I'll just walk to the edge of the deck, the edge of the pier area, and kind of look across, like he said, and maybe the Christmas lights will be there.
I go to reach in my pocket, get on one knee, they start singing. I look up and she's walked 30 feet away from me.
And I fully turn around and I see Ben down on one knee, and I'm frozen at this point in time. I must have been a good 20 feet away from him because I had just kept on going looking for these Christmas lights.
I'm like shuffling over to her because she turned into a flamingo at that point, and she's all like, and like not moving, and I'm like, come here. She's like.
He finally got up to me, and you know, he gave me the ring, and then at that point in time I realized that his sister and her friends were all singing I Choose You by Sarah Bareilles, which I had told him months before. I had said, you know, I really love this song by Sarah Bareilles called I Choose You, and the video that she has on YouTube for it has her singing at people's proposals. How great is that? So I think he kind of took note from that.
I knew the night I met you that I was going to marry you someday. It was love at first sight, and I made fun of it for years, but I realized I'd shot myself in the foot pretty hard on that one. But also I've been waiting for this day for a long time, and I can't wait.
Benny, I just want to say that I love you very much. Ever since that we have met each other and we've been a part of each other's lives, you have brought an extreme amount of happiness to my life, and you have always kept things interesting and fun. And I appreciate that so much. And I also appreciate the fact that you have always challenged me to be my best, and you always push me to achieve my dreams, no matter how far out of reach they might seem. And I can't thank you enough for everything that you've done. And I really look forward to the future that we're going to build with each other. Love you.